Hey, what's up and good morning, everybody. Thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and I'm going to cover the final round of the rookie tournament for the 4th anniversary competition. So first of all, congratulations for making it this far. We're in the final round. You know what time it is to try to hit some perfect shots and see how high up we can get in the standings. So thanks for following along with me all week. I really appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber yet, please hit that subscribe button. Please give me a thumbs up. And if you like my content, if I helped you, get here at this point and you'd like to tip your Golf Clash guide, you can find out how to do so in the comments section. Any donations are greatly appreciated. Or if you'd like to become a member of the channel, check out the description to the video. All right, there are some really good shots in here. I had a solid front nine, so drops to show, and I've got a couple balls like right at the pin that could have totally been an epic front nine. But anyways, here we go. Hole number 1, 10% elevation, playing at max distance of our club. I'm going to back it up and play over the stream here because I just want to get myself into the short iron range, which I am using the runner again. The runner has been good to me on rookie and has been good to me on pro. So that is what we're playing with, okay? And I think most of y'all should have that club for sure because it's one of the very early clubs that you unlock. 10% elevation. You can pull it at mid, you can pull it at max. The wind is so low, it doesn't really matter. Now, the other thing here that I would note is, as you can see, I'm playing with the Kingmaker. It's the final round. I wanted to reduce the wind as much as possible. That's when I start to use these kind of balls. You need to make sure that you are not using Kingmakers, that you are not using Berserkers, you're not using Titans in one-on-one play. You need to save these for final rounds of tournaments. All right, that's shot number 1. Shot number 2 is going to be played 10% at mid. It's going to be very important that you check your own distance of your club because you might be at max, or you might be at mid, or you might be in between. It is solely going to depend on how many yards you get on your drive. You might be closer to the hole than me. You might be further away. So make sure you check where you're at of your club. But for me, I played this one 10%. I played it at mid distance of the club. One big advantage of using the runner is the amount of rings you have to pull between minimum, mid, and max is very low. So for example, a mid distance pull might be 1.6 and a max distance pull might be 1.9. So that's one big advantage of using a club like this is you don't have to pull that many rings between the different distances of the club. All right, there's an eagle on hole number 1. Hole number 2, 20% at mid. We are playing the rough bump. It's the final round. Let's go for it. If you are scared to play this shot, remember you can play this straight at the hole. With the navigator ball would be plenty. Here, we're going to be using the katana simply for the side spin, which we're going to need to execute this rough bump. Again, 20% at mid distance. If you're not comfortable with this shot, that is okay. You can play straight at the hole. And at worst case scenario, you're going to pick up a birdie. I think it's almost impossible to par this hole. But as you can see here, we did get our perfect ball. And we love when the camera angle goes like this. And we're going to hit this baby dead center, picking up a hole-in-one on hole number 2. Hole number 3, the game hooks us up with a nice second shot, giving us tailwind. So we're going to just use a Titan here. Spin adjustments, okay, 3 top, 2 left. I want you to notice here, I'm leaving half of my orange ring on the fairway. I'm leaving half of my orange ring into the rough. Why do I do that, you might ask? It's because I am making sure that I leave myself room for a slight great left shot. That's a Golf Clash tip in tournaments and in a one-on-one play. You very rarely do you ever need to hug the rough, obviously unless we're going for rough bumps. But on a shot like this, make sure you leave yourself room. This ball comes in really nicely. We use a little bit of left curl, and that's going to leave us for shot number 2. Oh, I'm sorry. Shot number 2 is headwind, but it's okay. It's not strong. It's easy. I thought it was tailwind for some reason. Dave's tripping. Anyways, you can see what we're doing here. Couple bars of top spin, right? Couple bars of side spin to the left. I'm going to back my target up from max. That way I can adjust my rings to get the accuracy. And then when I pull here, it puts me back into max, okay? Now, check out the overpower. It's not a whole lot. Now, it is a little bit. It's a little bit of overpower combined with half a ball of curl to the left. So we come onto the green, very nice for a simple putt for eagle. The best advice I can give you on this hole is do not push your topspin, all right? If you use too much topspin, you're going to catch the fast roll on the fairway onto the green and probably roll into the rough. That's why you saw me only use a couple bars of topspin, and I just used a little bit of overpower for good ball control. Okay, hole number 4, I don't have a whole lot for you on this one. I just played it uber safe since I was off to a great start. I didn't want to, accidentally roll into the rough here. But you can take a look at the spin, and we can talk about maybe what you could do to get this thing to drop. All right, so you're seeing here 4.5 bars of back, but I think I changed it, right? Don't I change this? Yeah, okay. 5 bars of back, 1 bar of right. Now you'll notice here I've got my ball guide line going through the hole. It's just not enough through the hole because 4.4 mile per hour headwind is really going to knock my ball down once it touches down on the fairway here. But that is okay. I'm not worried about hole number 4. It is a difficult hole-in-one. It's playing a lot better on pro than it is in rookie. But you can see here that I came up well short. Now, I will tell you that I changed this on my other account to 4 bars of backspin and no side spin to the right. I took the right side spin off because you can see here that I missed right and short. 4 bars of backspin with the exact same setup. My ball did roll off the green, but it stayed on the fringe. So if you wanted to play this shot and try to get the hole-in-one, I would use 4.5 bars of backspin, no side spin to the right, put the ball guide line through the hole, and see what happens. Hole number 5. All right, so hole number 5, I'm going to just use a quarterback, and I'm going to lay up. And I really found this shot out from an opponent in the last round. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play on the right-hand side with the quarterback. You see here I'm using max backspin. And ultimately, I'm just making sure that I land on the fairway. I messed with the spin quite a bit because I'd never taken this shot, so I was kind of learning it on the fly. But you can see here my white ring is on the rough. I got max back with like 0.2 bars of right side spin. Perfect ball. Now, the reason that I like this shot here is because I get to play with my thorn. And I even get to use backspin at being at this distance. Now, I did play this 10% at max. As you can see here, I'm at max on my club. I've got the ball guide line going to the hole. And again, for me, this is just a little bit of backspin, but ball guide line pointing directly at the hole, just a little bit short of the pin. You'll see here we get the perfect ball. And we pick up another drop. So we got hole number 1, we got hole number 2, hole number 3, we eagle, and then hole number 4, and now we get an extra drop on hole number 5. So that's 3 drops in the first 5 holes for everybody. You know what? We're going to consider hole 6 a drop too, because it's a tough one to get the eagle on, but we do pick it up on both of my accounts. Now, here's what I want to tell you, is you can do this shot that I'm getting ready to take with a Titan, okay? If you don't have a Berserker, you're going to have to push your drive a little bit harder, but I've shown you how to do that in previous rounds. What I'm going to be doing here is using a Berserker, and the thing that I like about the Berserker is I can do a rough rollout. You're going to see here that I'm putting my ball guide line, my second bounce on the rough, okay? And I'm rolling out onto the fairway. The thing that I like about this is it gives me really good control in the wind. I'm keeping my club at max distance. I want you to notice here I am barely using overpower. This is hardly any overpower, but I'm using just a tad. And the ball guide line is true. It does exactly what I want it to do. I clip the rough and I roll out. The reason that I want to clip the rough is because I don't want to roll too far onto the fairway and possibly go into the rough. I don't think that would happen, but I'd rather be safe than sorry on this hole, because this hole gives me anxiety. Okay, now here you can see I'm using my big dog. I did not go max topspin because I'm getting the tailwind. Great ball to the left, lots of curl. But you're going to see here, I could have probably pushed this one a little bit harder with the top spin and the overpower. But either way, we're going to take this all day. You know what to do with your wedge. You go max top spin. You offset this ball slightly based off the wind angle. So here, I'm going to aim just in the, right there, boom, right in the corner of the cup, because I know if I hit perfect, even a great ball to the left, I'm going to be okay. But we hit perfect, so you know this thing's going to come in, and there it is. Sneaks into the cup for the eagle on hole number 6. Oh, hole number 7 could have completely changed my round. We are so close to the hole-in-one, and you know, a lot of you are going to pick up this hole-in-one based off this shot right here. Okay, the shot that you are seeing played is played 10% at max. Now, I've been playing this hole 0% or 5% all tournament, but on this hole right here, on my shot, I got 4.5 mile/hour wind, which is max wind with a navigator ball in rookie. You may or may not get that high of wind. If you get lower wind, you're probably going to want to play it at 0%. But I want to stress, the shot that I'm playing is 10% at mid-distance. But if you get this type of wind, I want you to play at 5%. Here's why. Notice here, I'm aiming just in the left-hand side of the cup. So my ball guideline is still hitting the flag stick, but it's definitely favoring the left-hand side. Also, another thing to note is when I pull my rings, I am pulling over the bullseye. Over the bullseye because of the wind angle. When we pull our rings, if we do it the regular way, we're going to have to pull into the sand. We don't want to do that because we're not going to have an accurate ring count. I want you to look at my blue ring right now. Do you see how it's dipping into the sand? The blue ring is distorted. It is longer than it normally is because we're pulling down into the sand. So we do not start there. Or I'm sorry, we start there, but I go over the bullseye. You see how I go over the bullseye here? Okay. I know that was a lot, but I wanted to stress that. Now, perfect ball. Remember, 10% means I pulled my rings more to the right, and I just leave this ball right at the pin. So had I played 5%, that ball would have been a hole-in-one for sure, because I would have pulled less rings to the right, and I would not have missed right. Important hole, so I spent a little bit more time on it, and I really hope you all pick that one up. Okay, hole number 8, 10% at max, using a katana here. If you have a kingmaker to spare, I would use a kingmaker. 2 top, 2 right, pretty much. Orange ring on the rough line. Easy pull. Perfect ball. Leaves us for shot number 2. Minus 10% elevation, okay? Minus 10%, we're playing this uphill, and I'm playing it at mid. I know I didn't put the graphic there, but minus 10% at mid. You'll see here my ball guideline aiming to the hole, right? So take a look at the spin. I didn't mean to fast forward through that. Look at the spin here. 2.9 back, 0.9 left. Very important hole. I got the inner green ring. So that little ring in between the yellow target zone, the green ring is right up on the fringe line there, or the fairway line. You see that? I pulled this one 3.1 rings. Again, minus 10% at mid. Perfect ball. So close, man. Change this to 0.4. 0.4 bars of left side spin. Same back spin. And you'll probably be able to pick that one up as well, or come super duper close. If you have a kingmaker, use it. Reduce the wind on that shot as much as possible, and you'll have a super big advantage on that hole. But you can see here, hole 7 and hole 8, so close. You know, it could have been a minus 16, minus 17 round, which would have been awesome, but I'm still doing okay on the front 9. Quarterback, 10% elevation, max distance, a little bit of overpower. Let's call this about 3/4 of a ball of curl to the left. Perfect shot. We're just clipping the rough and we're rolling out. probably the easiest way to go about the drive here. Onto the fairway, leaves us for shot number 2. Shot number 2, I wanted to go for the rough bump, but I just don't have it. I would have to go into overpower to execute it, and I did not want to do that, nor did I want to recommend it to anybody. Could have probably pulled it off, but, you know, it would have been gambling, and who knows what would have happened. So I decided to play the wind 1 for 1, 2 top, you know, call it about 1.4 right side spin here. And that's the ball guideline that I was looking for. It's very difficult to find, so if you don't find it, it's okay. Just take the shot if you start to run out of time. But here, I pulled 3.6 rings. Like I said, I played the wind 1 for 1. Unfortunately, great ball to the right. That's not going to do me any good. But you can see here, this is definitely a safe way to approach the eagle and maybe get lucky for an albatross. So there it is. There is a front 9. Good luck, everybody. Please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up. Let me know how you do in the comments. Let's go. I'll be working on the back 9 today. I'm going to try to get it up before I go to work, but I got to be at work in an hour and a half, so it's probably not going to happen. But the back 9 will be up at some point today. Good luck, everybody.